Hey, how are you today? I appreciate you making the effort to stop by and listen again to what I have to share. It means a lot to me. That means I know I'm not talking to myself all the time. So I wanted to just bring some brief awareness to some things that we all have and we all know about. However, we may not realize the depth or the amount of intricacies to these things. And essentially, I just wanted to touch on our habits. Not just our typical habits that you might hear about, something that's widely popular to discuss when it comes to habits, and that would be something like making the effort to read a book every day or work on your physical health, eat right, your work habits, that kind of stuff. To me, there's plenty of information out there, and for me, I kind of feel like at this point in my life, those are basic habits that, of course, have developed over the years, no doubt. So in parallel with that, though, while you're doing those things, certainly do those things, learn a new skill, eat healthy, exercise. Those are all very important. You should certainly do those. And it would probably help you a lot to read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear to assist with how to go about some of those things. So while you're doing those things, though, how are those larger habits getting created properly? And so those larger habits are still going to have smaller habits that you have to go through and create in order to create the larger habit. All right, so example, you're at the gym, you're exercising. Make sure you're doing your form correctly. Make sure you're getting the proper instruction if you're not totally familiar. So you're not doing the form wrong. You're not creating the habit of doing the wrong thing and potentially causing an injury, right? So those kinds of habits are ones you actually consciously work on. You make a plan for those. And there are other habits, which is what I wanted to bring some awareness to, that are unconscious and subconscious. And these are more of a limbic response to a situation or a stimuli, in that moment. And perfect example, using myself, is I bite my nails when I procrastinate or I'm nervous or I know I need to do something and I don't want to do it. I bite my nails to pacify myself, and it allows me to focus on that instead of dealing with the task I know I need to do and dealing with the emotions and the feelings. So now that I know that, I can try every single time to move away from that habit. Because when you become aware of those habits that were essentially hidden from you before, you bring awareness to them, of course, and you can make changes quickly most of the time. And so some other examples would be your emotional habits, physical unconscious habits, right? So like simple things that you might not think of, that I didn't think of until recently, was, how do you stand? How do you walk? What's your body language like in certain situations? Those body languages are definitely a limbic response as well. And things like, do you make eye contact during conversations? And what are your choice of words during conversations? Are you thinking about what you're going to say next during a conversation, or are you intently listening to that person? Those are also habits that get created. Others would be like breathing. You can create habits, unconscious habits around breathing. based on your situation. You know, if you're nervous, of course, your breathing is going to speed up. It's going to cause you to be, you know, go into a fight or flight response and cause even more stress. So if you can catch that pattern and that habit that you have, you can slow your breath down. You can come out of that stress response and handle the situation a lot better. Other things might be like your hygienic habits. And when you're sitting down, are you slouching? Or are you sitting up straight? Are you aligned while you're sitting there? Are you aligned while you're standing? Like, these are all habits that we've developed that I don't think that we think about. And again, is whenever you can bring awareness to them, you can make changes. And you can say, oh yeah, maybe that's why I was having that back pain, because I was always slouching in my chair, something like that, right? I mean, I feel like this is pretty basic stuff, but maybe it isn't, you know, because it's things that we do unconsciously on a day-to-day basis. And I know I just tried to make the effort to notice these things about myself over the years, and just to help me live a better life and notice who I am, how I'm doing things, and how those things also affect other people. Because if you have poor conversational skills, the people that you talk to, they're not going to have a good experience with you. So those habits and some of them, I guess, could be called tendencies too, but those habits and tendencies can rub off on other people and send your life and experiences in a way that you might not want them to go. So I just wanted to bring some awareness to that kind of stuff, because I think about it, and I would very much like you to contemplate these things as well. So I hope you found that helpful. I hope that was articulate enough and you found some value in that, in all this, my rambling, I feel like. So again, I appreciate you spending this moment with me, and I hope you have a beautiful day.